Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Today we're doing another R&R video, reviews and ratings, going over all the games that I've played over in the last week or two with friends, family, coworkers, or even if I just soloed them. We've got 11 games on the docket today, so let's just jump right into it with Orcs, Orcs, Orcs. Orcs is a sort of deck-building tower defense game that all players are defending the castle from invading orc armies. But what's strange is actually it's not a cooperative game. You are trying to see who defends the castle the best. It has the castle panic look to it. I'm giving this game a 6. It was fine for me, but there are deck builders I like a whole lot more than this, and there are tower defense games I like more as well. So this was a bit forgettable for myself. This is an older game now, and let's move on to another older game that I played for the first time this week with Ticket to Ride Europe. I surprisingly enough had never played the Ticket to Ride Europe version. My friend broke this out and we learned the different rules very quickly. If you like Ticket to Ride, you most likely will like this. It gets a 7 rating from me, which is what I rate the original as well. This just adds a few more mechanics to it, so it's still a pretty good game. Let's do a double rating next with High Society and No Thanks. Both of these small games are these sort of bidding games where High Society will give you a hand of money cards, and you are using them to bid on point cards. The player with the least amount of money at the end gets eliminated, and then the player with the most points wins. In No Thanks, you have stones instead of cards, and you don't want points in this one. Players on their turn either put stones on a point card to pass, and the player that takes that card gets those extra stones on the card to pass on other cards, but gets the negative points for the card they just took. Both of these are extremely simple, and No Thanks is even more so. We broke out these games back to back last week, and I give High Society a 6.5 and No Thanks a 7. I think most people like High Society more, but I just enjoy the simplicity and ease of No Thanks. Let's move on to a tiny epic game. My friend, shout out Febra, got Tiny Epic Pirates last week, and she let me take it home after she played it a few times for me to solo. You are controlling a pirate ship and trying to move around the board, collecting and selling goods in a fluctuating market, and then burying your booty. I really like the artwork and the look of this game. When I soloed it though, it felt very fiddly to me, and I'll give it a solo rating of 6. Then we played it at game night, and I enjoyed it quite a bit more, but still felt a bit fiddly, and I'll give multiplayer a 6.5. This is a game though that I feel like I want to like, and I do enjoy the mechanics, so maybe after a few more plays this rating would go up for myself. Moving on to a dice game with Sagrada. Sagrada is definitely not new to me, but I brought it to game night last week and introduced 4 other people to it and played a few games of it. It is this dice drafting game where you have to build a stained glass window, and there are restrictions of where you can place dice, and how you score will be randomized each game to give it that replayability. I have always really liked Sagrada, though it feels like the board game community has kind of forgotten about it lately. It gets a 7.5 rating from myself, and is a game that would fall in that Splendor category that is just easy to break out and play a few games. I also enjoy the solo game as well, giving it a little bit lower of a rating of 7. I don't see this leaving my collection anytime soon. Let's now check out a small card game with 5211. 5211 is a fast, simple card game using simultaneous reveal. Players are dealt 5 cards, they reveal 2 at the same time, then 1, and then 1 again. All the cards of the color that has the most played score. Unless too many are out, then those are discarded. It is a silly little game trying to guess what the opponents are going to lay down. I'll give this a 6.5 rating, and it is a fine little game that I think a lot of families could really enjoy. Let's move on to a little more somber of a game with The Bloody Inn. The Bloody Inn is a game I finally got my hands on since I've been trying to acquire it for a long time, but never could get it. It is a hand management game about trying to basically kill and steal money from people staying at your hotel. But you have to be careful for when cops show up to the hotel not to have any bodies laying around. I played this game solo a few times and I'll give it a solo rating of 7. And I really like that they give you the option of a short or long game. I wish more games came up with variants on how to shorten or lengthen a game depending on how much time you have or want to spend on a game. Next we have Here to Slay. Here to Slay uses this cute little artwork showing animals as your classic D&D fantasy classes. You are trying to either assemble a team of 6 different classes or kill 3 monsters. This is such a weird game to me that I want to like. The thing about it is such a take that game, which I don't really like that style of play, and it doesn't match the cute artwork they went with. Still, it will get a 6.5 rating, but if it didn't have so much messing with your opponents, this could have gotten an extremely high rating for how much I like the look and the certain mechanics that don't involve the take that aspect. I will be trying this one again a few times though, and seeing if that rating goes up for me. Checking out another little card game in Cabo. Cabo is a game I play pretty often, and I got to show a few people it last week. It is a small memory card game. You start each round and you have 4 cards face down in front of you. You get to peek at 2 to start, and throughout the round you'll get to swap cards with players or the deck and use a few different special abilities that come up, trying to have the lowest score on your cards by the end of the round. I rate this game a 7.5, and I still have a lot of fun playing it every time I break it out. And finally, let's check out one of the new Marvel Champion heroes, Scarlet Witch. I got Scarlet Witch last week and played her quite a bit already now. If you watched my ranking of Marvel Champion heroes, you already know I really like her. I give her a 9 rating, and I just really enjoy playing as her. She is just pure chaos. She has tons of cards that make you cycle through the enemy deck, which is bad, but those cards reward you with awesome abilities, which is good. I've had games with her that she just crushes, and it's awesome. And I have had games with her that I can't draw great at all, and I get crushed, which is awesome too. You just don't know what will happen when you're using her, so it's just a blast playing her. And that will wrap up this R&R episode. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and maybe tell some friends about the board meeting. But that will adjourn this meeting. Have an amazing day, everyone, and take care.